Jennifer Tilly.
Hi, Brice. So good to see you.
So good to see you. I feel like everyone always has to say your first and last name. You are never Jennifer, you're never Jen.
I know.
You are Jennifer Tilly.
On Housewives, they're always saying, well, Jennifer Tilly this or Jennifer Tilly that. I guess I'm like Harry Hamlin, you know? You have to say the first and the last name.
Hey, it's good promo all the time, getting the name out there. This is your second season as an official cast member, though you were flittering about in the wings with Sutton for a few years before this.
Yes, before I came on officially as a friend of, I just showed up, like I'd show up to her store opening, and then when I came on as a friend of, it's a totally different animal, my gosh.
Anyone got a mirror?
She needs one because she needs a
Sutton
touch-up.
really needs a f***ing mirror that she can hold up in front of her face.
Oh my God. I don't want these girls to get in a caviar food fight. That would be messy and expensive.
You seem really engaged in the group this season, though, because you've gotten to know these women. Was that a conscious choice you made, or is that just time created more?
Well, when you first go, like I had no idea. I thought it was like a documentary, like they follow these women around and, you know, and then they sort of film what's going on. I didn't know that, you know, they kind of push the action a little bit. I mean, everything is really real. Like some of these girls really hate each other. But it was my first year. I was such a virgin, and I always felt like everyone knows something's going on, but I don't know what. Like, what's happening? What's going on? And there'd be all these undercurrents and dynamics. But this season, I really like it more because I kind of more know the lay of the land. I'm not as frightened.
You were a deer in headlights a little bit.
It is terrifying to be on the Housewives, don't get me wrong. It's fun, but it's terrifying fun, like when you're in the roller coaster.
Right.
At
any point, the dip could come.
What makes the roller coaster scarier if you don't hold on, you put your hands in the air, and then you think, what if it flies off the rails? That makes it really fun.
So that's your approach to Housewives.
On Housewives, I'm always thinking, what if it really flies off the rails? Like, you're always like, when they say, when you're coming into the theater, look for the door to escape. Or on the plane, I'm always looking for the door to escape. Like if something happens.
Did you have to use it this
season?
season?
Here is what I'll do. No, but it did get very gnarly, and I'm sure it's no secret because you've heard Kyle and Dorit and Erika talking about it. When we go to Italy, they get into an epic fight, a major, major, major blowout.
I am interjecting because this is a three-way thing.
Erika, I'm not doing this.
I'm not gonna stop talking, Brie.
All right, let's go, girls.
I'm not going anywhere.
I am. Go yourselves.
It's very sad, it's tragic, thrilling. I mean, I'm a Housewives fan, so whenever something is happening where people are fighting, I always feel like, ooh, it's like I have a front row seat to the Super Bowl. And I know I'm not supposed to think that way. I'm supposed to think, oh, this is terrible.
But you got to step inside one of your favorite TV shows, so it is.
That's why I said I would do it, because I was a super fan, and I thought, when they asked, they would ask me every year, like, oh, does your friend Jennifer want to be on? And then I would always be like, no, I'm, too busy making important films. But then I thought, you know what, if I got to the end of my life, I know I would always regret not being on Housewives. It's just such a campy, funny, fun thing to do. And I thought, I don't care if it's not done. I thought, this is what I want to do. And I'm like thrilled to be on the show. And I just think it's gonna be just such a strange, interesting, new thing to do. And I'm totally hooked.
It's an anthropological study for you.
It is, because when I first went, I was like, well, I'll just do it for one season, then I'll know what it feels like.
You
and then they
signed
come,
up again.
The second season, knock, knock, knock on the door with the little sad contract, like, Jennifer, do you want to come back? I'm like, no, go away. I don't want to come back. And then all of a sudden, it's like Godfather 3 when he goes, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Next thing you know, you're mic'd up with the tiara on, walking into a party.
Oh my God, here I am again. But this season, I really did have a lot of fun, and I did more, I had more lunches and things with some of the other ladies. I got to know them a lot better.
Yeah, beyond Sutton, who do you find yourself closest to?
Well, I really like Erika. Erika's really fun. I'm so in awe of her, like her fashion style and her ability to like knock off a quip like it, like she was born to it.
Still got it, obviously.
She's like a queen, so I think the one I'm closest to right now is Kathy Hilton, because we're both friends of. And I got an award at Project Angel Food. They really wanted a housewife to give me the award. Sutton was out of town. And I said to Kathy, oh, will you give me the award? instantly, she's like, yes, absolutely, I will do it. It was so touching. She went through all this work to write a speech, and then she got really carried away at the auction. You know, they had auctions where they're auctioning off meals and experiences and everything. She just decided to open up her house to, I don't know, 12 to 24 people, and they auctioned that off, and it made like about $50,000.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was crazy.
Kind of on the note of money, a big focus of your first season was on your jewelry, your clothes, the Simpsons of it all. Did that surprise you that there was so much interest in that?
I was really astonished. I have to say I was very embarrassed when I'm swinging my Louis Vuitton boat.
And they put the price up.
Purse, because I just thought, oh, it's so cool. I have the Louis Vuitton boat purse. It's like fun. We're going to, you know, a place where there's boats. And underneath they go, Louis Vuitton boat purse, $33,000. And I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. There's like to spend that amount of money on a purse. But I remember it, I called my purse lady and I said, how much did I pay for that purse? It wasn't $33,000. I paid $24,000. I think the intern they had doing the price is very rare. So I think they looked it up online.
Of like what's
and now it's selling
value.
because it's a collector's item. It's selling for more. But still,
So
$24,000 for a purse is pretty egregious also. So I was like, I'm not off the hook.
I don't know. It makes for good TV. Coming out of the Sedona trip, your off-the-cuff combo with Kyle about Sutton stirred a lot of conversation.
Right.
And you know, all her friends, just give her a big pass because everybody knows that she's fragile.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do believe that's one of the reasons why Garcelle left. Because it's always all about Sutton. It's not about anybody else.
I'm like, it's just too much.
You didn't remember the details of it. Watching it back, did you stand by what you said? Did it click that you had said all those things?
Well, the thing is, this is what happens, and they edited a little bit to make it look like, you know, Sutton sort of, well, not sort of, Sutton snapped at me. She was very stressed out. Everybody's coming at her. They didn't even show how people kept coming back, and she said, I don't want to talk about Avi, and then they'd circle around, and they'd come back and go, yeah, but about Avi. So they were, you know, kind of, you know, and I was sitting there and I thought, well, I should probably say something because I am Sutton's bestie, and you know, maybe I can, you know, divert the conversation into another area that's not so stressful for Sutton. So I started to talk, and she's like, "Don't." I was like, "What?" I'm like, "I was just gonna say." She's like, "Don't, please don't." I didn't want to put more stress on her.
Yeah.
It hurt my feelings, but I'm not the kind of person to say, "How dare you, you beast!" You know, I thought. I understand that she's feeling very beleaguered and she's in a bad place. So I thought, I'll just go outside and cool off a little. But it looked like, because Kyle goes, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And they go, oh, I'll go to the bathroom too. But I just saw it as an escape, not like we're gonna go outside and talk
commiserate,
about Sutton. So I was sitting outside. I sat outside for about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour.
Okay.
And then, but I said, you know, I had some friends that are on the cruise, so I was kind of like, oh, that really hurt my feelings, and you know, just trying to get over it. And so then Kyle came and sat next to me on the bench, and she goes, oh, Jennifer, you know how you feel. Like Sutton has snapped at me many times. Went to hug her, and she pushed me away. So I made the #1 mistake, a rookie mistake that you should never make when you're a housewife. I opened up to her. I opened up to my fellow housewife because I felt heard. I felt understood. And so I was just talking about how I felt. And of course, you know, when you're talking to a girlfriend, you don't expect it to get back to the other girlfriend, except for, hello, this is Housewives.
There's a camera filming.
Topsy Turvy universe. There is a camera. You are like, why do I think that I'm going to be exempt from, you know, the Housewives rule that everything's on the table? So Sutton understood that something was wrong because in a very passive-aggressive way, I was very quiet for the rest of the evening, and that's not like me. You know, I like to talk. And that we were sharing a room. The next morning she came in, and we hugged it out, talked it out, and it was over, except for it wasn't over because a few days later, Kyle brought it up to Sutton, and then Sutton was bringing it up to other people.
Right.
And so it got drawn out a little bit more than it should have.
She was saying that it's always about you. And that, you know,
Well, that's interesting.
and that she said that she understands why Garcelle is not friends with you. And I was really surprised by that. She was saying that, you know, Sutton can be problematic.
Do you feel like Kyle mischaracterized the conversation when she brought it back to Sutton?
I felt it was a little bit like a game of telephone, that it kind of got a little, with each retelling, it got like a little blown out promotion. But the thing is, one of the reasons why I did come on the show is because I wanted to sort of protect Sutton from what, in their first couple seasons,
She'd been the punching bag for the
She was getting bullied a little bit. And I felt like, and they even said to me, we want Sutton to have an ally on the show. And I like the idea of being Sutton's ally. So you don't want to be the person that's now causing problems for Sutton.
Right.
And, we're really good now. She's like a wonderful person. She's a really good friend. And everybody has their moments. It was actually just like a blip. It was a very small.
Right. But Kyle, it's Housewives, so everything gets blown up and turned into more.
There's a reason why Kyle has been the housewife for 15 years.
She kind of side-eyed how you handled the aftershocks of it and kind of suggested that you either fear Sutton or fear Sutton's reactions. Do you fear Sutton or her reactions?
I do not fear Sutton, and I don't fear her reactions. Obviously, when you have a friend, you want to always be in a happy place. But if you have a friend that's a really good friend, it's worth fighting for. Like, I feel like Sutton, my relationship with Sutton was a lot stronger after we talked the next morning and understood each other.
And then you had to have another conversation at Rachel's party. But that kind of buttoned it for
I did feel like
audience.
production was sort of like, what did they make up off camera? Like, oh, this is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But, I'm kind of happy that's behind us. We're moving on. We're upward, and we're having adventures. Now other people are getting in fights. Everybody takes turns sitting on the hot seat.
It was almost contagious. It was like you two closed the book there, and then the new chapter opened for Dorit and Amanda.
Right. But that's why we love the show. Like, when I was watching a Housewives fan, you want to see the glamour and everything like that. But more than that, I was so invested in the arguments and the misunderstandings.
The human relationships.
That's the thing that made you want to tune in the next week. There's nothing like seeing a bunch of people in designer clothes arguing as opposed to just seeing people in designer clothes having cocktails. It's like that's why we love the Housewives.
In your conversation with Sutton, she said, I'm working on being less reactive. Have you seen growth from her in that area since this?
Definitely. Sutton is so working on herself in this season. And I really see it with her, like, she's doesn't drink hardly at all anymore. She used to love to drink vodka. Now she'll have a little bit of rosé. And that's so hard to do. She's working so hard on herself. I love the whole thing where she's saying, okay, I'm not Sutton Stracke anymore, I guess, because her marriage was annulled by the church, which is such a strange thing after 3 children and, almost 20 years together. But she's saying, like, okay, who am I? She's finding herself. Am I Sutton? I'm not Sutton Stracke, I'm Sutton Brown. For the last few years, Garcelle was a very dear friend of hers. Now, I'm not sure what happened, but they're not friends anymore. And then Avi was always her right-hand man, and he's not there anymore. So she's totally thinking to herself, like, who am I now? And reinventing herself. I think everybody can relate to that. And, she's always been an amazing person.
Yeah.
So I think her amazing personage is going to emerge like a phoenix from...
I feel like you can even see it physically on her.
You see it. She looks gorgeous this season. I mean, I think it's going to be a very positive season for Sutton.
Yes. Maybe not the same can be said for everybody else.
So, just know...
Don't touch me right now, please.
Okay. Well, it was just a nice gesture, but...
But, like, I told you my kid died and you kept going.
The Dorit and Amanda of it all, this seems like it's going to be a thing that just has legs and grows. Did you find yourself on a team or a side?
I was so astonished when Amanda was saying during the summer, like, and I have a problem with Dorit. Because for some reason, I didn't understand why she had a problem with Dorit, because it seemed like she kind of was having negative interactions with a lot of people. And I totally forgot that Dorit was asking her about what she said about her parenting style, that terrible night. So I think that you'll see just more of, when Amanda was in the car with Rachel and on the phone, and when she was talking about her business, you're gonna probably see a lot more of that.
She rubbed a lot of people.
She rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and I think.
But she didn't seem to rub you the wrong way or Kathy the wrong way.
The thing is with Amanda, she's coming onto the show. She's a rookie. She doesn't understand what she's coming into. And I see her, I'm not gonna say stumbling around because she's a very self-assured young lady, but I see her sort of looking for common ground, like, how do I behave and what language do I have in common with
Yeah,
these
it
ladies?
seems like she throws out a lot
She's
of like,
making missteps.
I'm trying to get
Yeah.
bond with you, and people aren't taking what she's throwing
I don't
out.
think she came onto the show saying, I'm going to irritate everybody on the show, you know? She's a very decent person, but it is difficult. I'm in show business, I'm a professional actress, I've been friends of Sutton's, you know, I know these ladies. I did so much research. I always laugh when people say, because actually Amanda said, I never really watched the show. I think I watched 2 episodes. And Bo's never watched the show either. I feel like it's a little like Meghan Markle saying she never Googled Prince Harry.
Right.
It's like, you're going to be on the show. Maybe you should watch some episodes of the show to see what you're getting into. Why would you say, yes, I'll be on the show if you haven't seen it, if you don't know what it is? So I read Brian Moylan's book, The Real Housewives. I read It's Not All Diamonds and Rosé. I've read all these books about reality television, but nothing prepares you for the reality of it.
No, until you're thrown in the pool.
That's why I feel like we should all be bonded together. There's a very...
Trauma bonded.
Trauma bonding. No, there's a very small group of women that have been housewives in the Housewives franchise, and even smaller group of women that have been on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's an astonishing thing.
Yeah.
It's really the most strange, surreal experience. These girls are all warriors, they're all survivors, and you know, I love all of them. Even the ones that annoy me.
Right.
I love them all. People don't understand how difficult it is to be on the show.
It's not easy at all. We have a new person as of this last week,
yes.
Natalie.
Yeah.
How does her entry into the group shake up the dynamics of the group?
She's just really fun. She's like, I want to dance on the tables. You saw how she was dressed when she came to
Yes,
Russell's party.
and then she tells a story about getting a happy ending massage at the next group dinner.
Oh, you've seen that, okay.
Natalie had the hottest masseuse she's ever seen. They had sex.
Okay, sorry, Natalie. I do not believe that story. Like, who does that? But she didn't even say happy ending massage.
I mean, it was,
she said she had sex with this guy.
I was being the safe for TV version.
She literally had sex with this guy. Like, who goes to a spa and has sex with the masseuse? That just seems like, and she's like, I wanted to. So I guess she's sort of like the Kim Cattrall on Sex and the City character, because she loves to talk about sex. She loves to talk about her vagina. You know, she's like, and she likes to dress. She's has so much style, but she dresses very like hot girl summer, like very provocatively, you know, the short skirts, and she's got the banging body. She's a lot of fun to be around.
Then we will go with this Italy thing you just teased.
Yes, the Italy thing.
How would you describe the dynamic of the group at season's end after all these shots have been fired?
Well, I would say at season's end, the group is fractured. And it's sad to see it going down. The night it went down, we were all sobbing, we were all crying. It was so emotional and so intense.
Do you think it can be repaired at reunion?
Not at reunion, nothing's repaired at reunion. Reunion just makes everything worse. I do believe it can be repaired because I believe that their friendship is so deep, it goes back so far. We want, I want everything tied up in a nice little bow. I was really trying to get Dorit to make up with Kyle and Erika, because Kyle's daughter's wedding was like 5 days after we finished filming. And I knew that Kyle really wanted Dorit to show up for her wedding. And this is a good sign. Dorit did show up for the wedding. So I felt like they would both be incredibly sad if it didn't happen. Yeah, you know, I care about all these girls. The viewers care about the girls. They all care about each other. But we're filming under very difficult circumstances. In Sedona, when we went to look at that darn vortex, it was like, I believe it was 110 degrees.
I want the unedited footage of that, because every moment they show of you climbing up, pouring water on yourself, cracks me up.
I thought, you know what? It's not gonna do the production any good if I expire of heat stroke right here at the maw of the vortex. So I was really trying to take care of myself. I did literally crawl the last 10 feet to get to the top. Thank God I was being a little kitschy and campy to bring my Chanel water bottle holder, but I drank all that water, and thank God. The most important thing is to stay hydrated.
Yes, you're still with us. Now, I heard you don't really have an interest in doing Traitors.
No, I do not, because...
But the fashion game, just to
know.
walk through that castle and compete with Alan Cummings' looks, you gotta do it.
And I love Alan Cummings, I know him. And Lisa Rinna with her leopard print in her hat, but I really I'm so not good. I crack under stress. I
You
want
play
everyone
poker,
to
though. You
like
have a
me.
poker face.
Yes, I do, but on that show, I gather you have to be very conniving and manipulative and underhanded.
Only if you're a traitor.
If you're a traitor. Well, I'm gonna watch it, but also too, you're in a castle in Scotland, you don't get paid much, you know. I don't know, probably have to steam my own garments. I'm not used
Yeah, you do
to
your
that.
own hair, makeup,
Can't
and
bring
wardrobe.
my glam team. I don't know, it doesn't sound good to me.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough, Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm used to being pampered.